Hey, I am excited to show off my new website I'm launching. It's called biologyproblems.org. I'll just type it out for real. So, biology problems, that's OER prime. I've just uploaded all of my genetics questions. There's still a few more to upload, but 90% there. And I just kind of want to show them off. This is a complete course in inheritance genetics. The way I structure my courses, and of course, you don't need to adopt it, is I start off with genetic disorders, and you can use these problems independent of what learning management system you have. If you have Blackboard Learn, which is kind of the old Blackboard from the past 20 years, you can download a text file, or you can download this QTI 2.1. If you're using the current Blackboard Ultra, um, that uses the QTI 2.1 format. If you are using Canvas or LibreText Adapt, you can download this file format. Or if you're just kind of curious what the problems are, you can download the whole thing in human readable text format. But you don't need to actually download the text format. You can actually click and see individual questions and try and answer them if you want. I'm just going to randomly put them in and we'll see. Oh, I got 0 out of 10. So like Fragile X syndrome is that one, and I'll check my answer. I got 1 out of 10. I don't know out of 10 of the commissar, but um, and you can test out all the questions and independent of what you want to do. If you download the questions, there are 99 different examples. Sorry, questions of similar format that you can put in there. So students will always receive a different one. And I kind of use the practice makes perfect type situation. So the second topic I talk about is like DNA composition, base pairing. And then I get into DNA profiling, restriction enzymes. Um, I have like a blood typing question, still working on some of the stuff. HLA genotype inheritance, restriction enzyme digests, you name it. Then I get into Mendelian genetics, just kind of some terminology. If you want to do some large crosses, a lot of terminology in this one. Here's one where it's a kind of a problem solving, outcome crosses, Punnett square identification. Then we get into gene interactions, monohybrid crosses, ABO blood group inheritance patterns, gene interaction types in dihybrid crosses. This is one of my favorite ones. I love epigenetics, or sorry, epistasis. Epigenetics, not so much. I love epistasis type questions. I've made a couple of fun ones that involve metabolic pathways and identifying Punnett squares, genetic linkage, type of dominance, genotype diversity. Then I talk about chromosomal inheritance, kind of getting into Thomas Hunt Morgan type stuff, sex determination systems, stages of prophase one, true false statements, linking X-linked disorders with autosomal disorders, patterns of inheritance, pedigree charts. This is broken right now. Sorry. Um, X-linked patterns in fruit flies. I can see some output. Then I get into chi-square analysis, terminology. But I do have, here's a table. They have to determine which chi-square table is the correct one and whether or not to accept or reject, and figure out what kind of like a lab mate did wrong. Then we get into gene mapping. I have a lot of tetrad analysis, so that's broken. 3-point test crosses. You get the progeny count. You need to figure out one of the distances between the genes. Which ones are the double crossovers? Identifying the parental genotypes. A lot of different kind of stuff built in. 2 genes, 3 genes. Then I get into chromosomal disorders, talking about chromosomal shapes, cytogenic notation, mapping the gene order and deletion mutants. I like the one with the picture. So for example, I got to fix the table here, but you can kind of see where the deletion mutants are. And they have to figure out the order of the genes, for example. Chromosomal translocation outcomes, uh, gamete chromosome numbers, predict the gametes from a Robertsonian translocation, balanced translocations. I have a couple of questions on population genetics. So I'll work on expanding that one. And then one of my favorite topics is gene trees, which can be just like starting off with a distance matrix and figuring out the tree, or sometimes I just have students kind of identify which one is different. So I give them a collection of gene trees and almost all of them are the same, or identify which one is the same from a collection of gene trees. And then that's kind of my whole semester. Obviously, it takes a while to train the students to learn this material, but all these questions are available for free under the Creative Commons license. And check it out. If you want to have more questions, you have good ideas for questions, you feel free to reach out to me. I'm Dr. Neil Voss, Associate Professor at Biology at Roosevelt University. You can reach me on a number of different social media links. Thanks for listening.